Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man who only came for the Israelites. All right? Now, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and we're going to start at verse 22. It reads, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened." So this is referring to the days that we're coming into, all right? Jacob's trouble, okay? Because that spells the end of this man's kingdom, which is why you're hearing all these talks about wars and rumors of wars. And now that Trump has got Israel and Iran to cease fire, he's looked at as some type of Messiah, some type of Christ figure, okay? But you see, one thing you can't do is you can't fool the very elect, okay? Why? Because they were chosen from the foundation, all right? And they have an understanding of prophecy. And we know what he's doing is not according to prophecy. See, and we're going to get the video showing that, and we're going to look at some of these individuals in the comment section that have been deceived, okay? Because why? They're not of the elect, or at least as it currently sits, they're not of the elect, all right? And we got to pray that we are of the elect, all right? Because we can't act like we got it when we don't, all right? That's why we praying that we are of that number, the elect, all right? So it says, verse 23, "Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is the anointed, or there, believe it not." See, these scriptures is not just for our reading, all right? It's for our betterment, our understanding, to get us and put us on game, all right? Because we can easily be had without this word, without this yoke, okay? Because you can see how easily it is from someone who don't have a clue of what's going on to take what's being said and run with it from the media, okay? Here it is, Trump has seemingly done the impossible and have gotten Israel and Iran to cease fire, which would be deemed as peace in the Middle East, all right? But we know, according to prophecy, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh, all right? See? So this is what we are akin to with prophecy, all right? So that we don't be kept in the dark. It says, 24, "For there shall arise false Christs, or anointed, or Hamashiachs, and false prophets." Right, because you have a lot of these individuals that's backing what Trump says as if it's prophecy, as if he is the one that is what? Causing the ceasefire to stop over there in Israel. Okay? When that's not according to the Bible, all right? The way that place is going to come to peace is when the Israelites return back there, the true Israelites, all right? That's why you notice the media don't refer to them as Israelites, but always Israelis, okay? Because they know that those are not the real people of that land, man. So it says, "For there shall arise false anointeds and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders." Peace in the Middle East. Is that not a great sign and wonder to the mass that don't know any better? Well, of course it is, okay? Presumably, Donald J. Trump has did the unimaginable or unthinkable. He has got Israel and Iran to cease fire. That's a great sign and wonder. It says, and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, this is the key word, the optimal word, if it were possible, meaning it isn't. If you are the elect, they shall deceive the very elect. This right here could shake anybody to the core, that how is he, Edomite, is somehow able to offset prophecy by settling the score in the quote-unquote Middle East by having Israel and Iran to cease fire. But see, if you think like that, that just shows that you're not of the elect. You're not in that right mindset of knowing prophecy, okay? Because they getting ready to shut everything down, man. But before they do, they want that last memory of what you was able to obtain to be what? That there is peace in the Middle East over there. Okay? Quote unquote Middle East, Western Asia. That's the last image or thought they want you to have as this what? Messiah, this anointed, this false Christ, Donald J. Trump, has did the unthinkable, the impossible. Okay? So when all hell breaks loose, you will look at him as some type of savior and take instructions or directions from whatever it is that he's saying. Because why? He was somehow able to what? Bring forth peace in the Middle East. So you have to be sent or anointed to do something like that. All right? So this is the stage that's being set to what? To deceive what? Those that aren't of the elect. Okay? So now let's play a video. Let's read a couple articles and then we'll close out from there. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is the segment which I was alluding to, that in the comment section they are lauding him and praising him as if he is a Messiah or an anointed for stopping this war in the quote-unquote Middle East. So we're going to, and they calling him daddy, okay? So we're going to let it play a little bit, and as it play, we're going to scroll through some of the comments on here, and then we're going to look at it, all right? So let's let it go. Check it out.
Party's over. Dad's home.
They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes, then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language to
You have
get
to use
stopped.
strong language. Everyone's sort of like...
Trump ended the 12-day war, and now Europe's calling him daddy. And daddy likes it.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard...
So let's look at some of the comments that these individuals who are not of the elect, as it sits currently, believe, in how they are praising and lauding him for his feat of bringing forth peace in the quote-unquote Middle East. It says, watching from Australia, I love President Trump. His honesty is a breath of fresh air. God bless our military and president. How many times do we have to say, never vote Democrat ever again? Not ever. Our vote was well placed. All righty. We picked the right person and put him in office. Thank God for this administration. Oh, I'm proud to be in America, where at least you know it. Thank you, President Trump. I am not even American and still in awe at the strikes carried out by the pilots. Absolutely stunning. So you can see and get the sentiment how this man is looked at as an anointed, as a false anointed, albeit, but still, nevertheless, unanointed in the eyes of those that are deceived and not of the elect. Strong president, strong military. Thank you, President Trump, and everyone who was involved in this strike that made the entire world safer. American flag emoji. President Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. The man is a genius. So you see the sentiment all across the board, man, showing you that the validity of Matthew, the 24th chapter and the 24th verse stands strong, man. And it's so much that it will fool the very elect. These people are not the elect, man. They fool. How many more people that aren't on the comment board that thinks just like this and believes this? Okay? As an Iranian, do we need to call Trump daddy now? Regardless, thank you, Trump. My president, so proud to be an American in our military. Wow. I've got tears in my eyes. So moved by these genius, courageous men. Man, you can't make this up, man. President Trump, the professional, amazing, skilled pilot of Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and Defense Secretary deserves a big bravo. And they gave it in all capital. And my gratitude. News organizations need to be held accountable for all their lies. So you can see, his followers, that follow under this false Messiah, they want that fake news to be held accountable, man. All right. And that's all setting the stage for what? The famine of the word. Okay. Because eventually it's going to come after your First Amendment. All right. Your freedom of press. All right. Because why? They're going to say, well, we can't continue to have these news outlets to continue to, put out false information when we put soldier lives on the line to go drop those bombs and they discrediting them. So everything is working like a well-oiled machine according to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. He's got the ones that's being deceived while he's got the elect that see right through it. And guess what? They ain't going to be had, okay? It's not possible. We read it. All right, so let's let a little bit more play. But you see the comments, man. All right, you see the comments.
Your NATO allies as kind of children.
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
The media said Daddy was going to leave the family. But look at him front and center in the family photo. They said he was going to abandon NATO, but America first doesn't mean...
And what you're seeing is the beast that's going to hate the whore, which is NATO. NATO is going to turn on America, man, in World War III. You see an image of the beast, and you see an image of the whore represented by Donald J. Trump, the Americans, okay? And NATO in the backdrop, all right? Pursuant to, I believe that's what, Revelation 17:10? Let me double check. Give me 1 second. Revelation. One second, come on. Load, okay. Let's go to Revelation. Let's 17. Speaking on the 10 horns, Revelation. The 10 horns is represented by NATO and EU. Let me see if I can find that in Revelation. Yeah, Revelation 17 and 16, Salakia. It reads, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which is America, these shall hate the whore." Okay? So the 10 horns that saws upon the beast, which is represented by NATO and EU, they shall hate the whore who is who? America, all right? Because America is known for what? You know, as a whore, a whore does what? She sells her body, man. America sells everything, okay? To other countries, you know, everything, all right? So guess what? Eventually, when the least of the flock draws them into this third woe, NATO, the 10 horns, and EU are going to hate the whore, man, okay, and turn on her. So you seeing an image in the background of NATO, if I'm not mistaken. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, which is what? The thermonuclear missiles, man. So these individuals back here, if I'm not mistaken, I think they said was NATO, which is part of the 10 horns, is going to turn on the whore, which is America, and make her what? It said eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So they're going to turn their capability of nukes and missiles onto America to help finish her off. Because in Jeremiah, it says all those that bend the bow aim at her and what? Don't hold back, roughly paraphrasing, all right? So this place has it coming, man, all right? So let's see. I got to double check that they said that was NATO.
America alone. And now the media said Daddy was going to leave the family. But look at him front and center in the family photo. They said he was going to abandon NATO, but America first doesn't mean America alone.
Yeah, so he said they was going. He said that Trump said that he was going to abandon NATO, which I'm presuming that that's them in the background, but this is the family picture. See, as of right now, matter of fact, let me screenshot that. I might do something with that. See, as of right now, everything is all peace. It's peace and safety right now. Because of what? Daddy Trump, he has somehow did the unthinkable, the unimaginable, the unbelievable, and what? Cease fire in the Middle East. So everything is all lovey-dovey right now, man. But the least of the flock is not through, man. Those small hatters, those 48ers, they're not through. They're going to cause Trump to get drawn into the war, or America, should I say, and somehow, some way, America's going to get drawn into the war, and the 10 horns is going to hate the whore. She going to do something and going to eat her and burn her with fire, man. Revelation 17-16. So let's continue to listen a little bit more, and then we'll get a few precepts and close out.
And now the Europeans can't stop saying, thank you, Daddy.
If you're a veteran and you only have life insurance through the VA, you need to listen up. We help veterans and their family members get approved.
And now the Europeans can't stop saying, thank you, Daddy.
You are a man of strength, but you're also a man of peace. And the fact that you are now also successful in getting this ceasefire done.
See, they love him now, man. This is beautiful, man. Prophecy is beautiful. Man, call halal Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Prophecy is beautiful. Okay? NATO loves Donald the dove. NATO loves Donald the dove. So just think. They love him. They just seen him take a family picture. But according to biblical prophecy, man, they're going to hate him. And we're going to get that scripture, Abaratasa, Father will, so we can see it and read it personally. All right? Because the stage is being set, man, for those that are being deceived and those that are the deceivers. All right? Because Trump is a false anointed. He's one that's deceiving the mass. And we seen on the comment section those that are being deceived. Okay, it's all working according to the will of the Heavenly Father, man.
Between Israel and Iran, I really want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
And I think this is important for the whole world. Then on spending, it's absolutely true. I want to state here, without President Trump, this would not have happened.
Europe's thanking Trump for making them spend more money. Happy wife, happy life. But Trump, like a gentleman, says it's all about the guys in the cockpit.
The pilots did an unbelievable job like nobody's ever seen. They hit pay dirt. You see where I guess you probably...
Okay, so I'm pretty sure the message is being, conveyed that, hey, Trump is this, as it currently sits, Trump is this savior, or as they call him, daddy. Okay? They in love with the man now. Okay? They in love. NATO is in love with Trump. Daddy. Okay? You've did it. So just imagine what's coming. Something's coming, man. We telling you right now, something is getting ready to go down major here in America. And the last thing you're going to remember is seeing that Trump is lauded and praised. It's going to make it more believable when he introduces the mark of the beast, Abaratazar, if it's him that Yahweh uses, okay, to deceive the mass, all right? Because right now, he's on cloud 9. He just continue. And hey, they saying that the oil prices are going down. I mean, this man is having the people eat out the palm of his hand, which is going to make it all the more better when he introduces the mark of the beast, Abaratazar. Father will, he is the one. We believe, those of us that are the elect, that are fighting to endure to the end. All right? So let's look a little bit more of it play action, and we got a few precepts.
Look, they call it the wound. You see where the wound is on the earth, and 3 of them right next to each other. Perfect. And they should be admired and respected for what they did. And the fake news, in order to try and hit me, the fake news made them look bad, but now they look really good again.
37-hour flight, 13,000 miles.
All right, we're going to pause it there and get a couple of precepts and then close out. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. Speaking of the family photo, it says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, represented by NATO and EU, these shall hate the whore. See, so the whore, which is Babylon the Great, is going to do something to cause the 10 horns to hate her. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked. And she's going to be what? She's going to be drawn into the third woe by what? The way of the Israelis. Okay? So that quote-unquote peace in the Middle East, it ain't no peace. All right? It's all part of the illusion, the deception. For you slow, or for you non-elect members to what? Buy into it. Okay? It says, and shall make her desolate and naked. What does that bring to mind? Isaiah 47. Come and sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. All right? Matter of fact, let me go there. Drawing a blank, but I know it's in there. Isaiah 47. In verse 3, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. This is speaking of when Yahweh shall return, all right? He's going to expose all of this damn false lauded and praises that this place is getting for all this fake and irreparable, name it, man. Just the fact that they making the people believe that they actually doing this, that they're actually offsetting prophecy. This is what they selling to the people who don't know better. See, they know better, man. All right, they know what the prophecy entails. But see, they job is to what? To deceive the mass, and ultimately it's Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, that's using them to do the deceiving. As it says, I believe that's in the book of Job, chapter 5. The deceived and the deceiver are his, man. Yahweh is causing all this, what? To sift the undesirables of Israel, the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that believe any of this. If you fall for it, that just means you are undesirable. The Most High doesn't want you, okay? So it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin, daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. This is speaking of America, the United States of America. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the river. So she's being exposed, okay? And that's coming, all right? As of right now, she's covered. But the servants, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, through prophesying, is uncovering her. But then when Yahweh Shai return, he's going to expose her all the way for being that whore, okay? And he's coming to what? Bring fire. Luke 12:49. Suppose when I come, there's already fire. So he's coming to top it off. It says, pass over the rivers, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. See, Yahweh Shai is returning as an angelic force, not to be reckoning with. So now back to Revelation 17 and 16. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which is NATO and EU, it says, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked. See, they're going to be part of the process that's going to strip her and make her naked. But when Yahweh Shai returns, as it says in 12:49, Luke 12:49, he's going to finish her off. Okay, this is the book of Luke, chapter 12:49. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth. So this is when he returns. He's coming with the chariots, all right, with the host of heaven. It says, and what will I, if it be already kindled? See, he's coming in the midst of World War III, all right? They're going to be exposing this place by what? The way of missiles. It's going to be an all-out war, you know, with Iran, with Russia, with China, you know, going against America. And America's going to have NATO and EU, but eventually they're going to turn on America and make her naked and bare with the missiles. Because it's all biblical prophecy, man. This place wasn't created to be made great. It was made to be destroyed, man. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. It is polluted. It will destroy you even with a sword destruction. It's a wrap, man. And we are literally in the end times. All right. And we're seeing it be played out in real time, man. They love the whore right now. Okay. But soon they're going to hate the whore. First, like that song says, first they love me, then they hate me, then they love me again. That's that Jay-Z. Meet the Parents, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, off the Black album. First they love me, then they hate me, then they love you again. They love the whore right now, but guess what? They gonna hate her pretty soon, man. We reading it, and they gonna make her naked. But Yahweh Shai is gonna come and top it off. Okay? So back to Revelation 17 and verse 16. Luke 12:49. Jumping all over the place. Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire. This is Yahweh Shai on the earth. And what will I, if it be already kindled? See, it's going to be already war. It's going to be already missiles shooting back and forth. Going into 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. And when Yahweh Shai returns, he's going to top it off. All at that point in time, when Yahweh Shai returns, everyone that's fighting in World War III, all the nations, they turn and face to fight Yahweh Shai. NATO, EU, all the other countries, America, they all turn to face and fight Yahushua, okay? And the host of the host of heaven, the army. And it's gonna make for a beautiful ending, man. Yahushua is gonna get down. That's when Isaiah 63 come into part, man. Where it says, who is this that cometh from Basra? Garments dyed and dipped in blood. Yahushua's gonna get down. See, man, yeah. If the Father is a man of war, how much more Yahushua? Yahushua ready, man. You gotta remember, he's been waiting for over 2,000 years to get his get back, man. So it's gonna be some moving furniture, man. When Yahushua come with the host of heaven, and some of us, if we be, afforded and allotted to come down and get busy alongside. But he said in Isaiah 63 that what? He gonna do it by himself, man. All right? But hey, Yahushua got a score to settle, man. All right? With you damn Edomites, man. Specifically America, man. He's gonna be the one that finishes off America, man. All right. He's gonna be, and as he's finishing off America, those of us that are the elect are gonna be beamed up into the chariots, man. All right. So I am come to send fire. See, those of you that say you believe in quote unquote Jesus, if you don't want this, you don't believe in him. All right, because it tells us in Revelation 19:10 that the spirit of Yahushua is the testimony of prophecy. So you got these fake ass so-called Christians that want to believe in a fairy tale running through the field, Jesus skipping and galloping. That's their image. They don't want the real man Yahushua to come back. See, they don't believe in prophecy, man. They just talk a good game. But now that shit is gonna get exposed, man. All right. So back to Revelation 17, in verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked. Right? They're gonna strip her apart, man. All right, alongside with all the other nations, particularly Russia, because Russia has that nuclear capability, all right, with those ICBMs, all right, along with China and Iran, they gonna all help strip this whore apart, man, and make her naked. It says, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. We just read in Luke 12:49. What if I come and it's already kindled with fire? This place is already gonna be burning, man. But see, Yahushua is gonna top it off, man. Because Yahushua, our big brother Yahushua, he gotta get you better believe he gotta get him his, man. All right, when he show up as that ultimate Judite and that humongous fathership, so-called UFO that Ezra saw and reported on it, said it was the size of a mountain, and where he engraved, he could not tell, showing you that, hey, this thing is going to be, beyond our imagination how humongous this thing is going to be. Ezra said, where it was graved, I cannot tell. He couldn't tell you what part of it, because it didn't come from out of a mountain, but it's going to be as huge as a mountain. That's the only reference that we can show you how big it's going to be, man. So the 10 horns that we saw so lovey-dovey with Trump, in that family photo, they gonna turn and hate on him. Because why? Those so-called Israelis gonna cause Trump to get back on it and come over there, and daddy gonna have to go, do what he do. Daddy gonna have to go make everything right. Because why? Badass Johnny done broke the rules. Daddy said cease the fire, stop fighting the neighbor, and Johnny done did what? He done went over there and threw a rock at Michael's house and broke the window after Daddy told him not to throw rocks. Johnny Badass then picked up a rock and threw it at the neighbor house. And now Daddy, this is all an analogy, of course, got to come in and make right with what Johnny done did. Well, guess what? NATO getting NATO getting tired of that, man. All right? Johnny done been bad too many times, man. All right, the damn principal said, hey, we tired of your son, man. Now we got to do something about you. Or should I say the police is tired of coming out to the damn house hearing about Johnny this, Johnny that every week. Now this week, Johnny done threw and broke the damn window of Michael or whoever house I said, which was referencing to Iran, that Daddy, which is America, Trump, got to go and make good. Now the cops is through. Now they finna take Daddy ass to jail over what Johnny did, man. If you can catch up and keep up with the analogy. So the 10 horns is gonna hate the whore, man. Okay? And gonna turn on her and gonna make her desolate and naked, and she'll eat her flesh and burn her with fire. ICBMs, man. Okay? So, hey, the least of the flock is gonna draw them out. It ain't over with yet. It's not over. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, cease fire, what happens? Then sudden destruction cometh upon them. See, everything is all fine and dandy right now. You just took the family photo. They calling you daddy. You got the love, the dove. Hey, man. But you got to watch out for badass Johnny over there, man. You see? Johnny, while you at work, Johnny causing havoc throughout the neighborhood. Okay? You see? So it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See? So they got to pay, man. You see? They got to pay for that. They got to get that ass whooping, man. All right? They can't escape prophecy no matter how good they try to cover it up. All right? And guess what? For the mass is going to believe it. But guess what? We're not worried about numbers or the mass. We're worried about the small remnant, the elect. Okay? And if it were possible, which it's not, they will fool the very elect. See, they can't, man. And we here to expose them. All right? No matter how good they try to hide it up, and hiding it up are they doing. We see the comment section, man. So they doing a good job for the non-elect. But for those of us that are fighting to endure to the end, you know, hey, we see it right through it. Because why? We're measuring the time diligently. All right, as it tells us to. Lest Satan should what? Get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. This is just another device, another ploy of the devil to make you think something which it isn't. There's peace. There's no peace. All right, this is just all part of the plan, man. All right, of the Heavenly Father. This is all part of the plan, man. This is a sifting mechanism, man. You got to be able to endure. All right? If this discourages you to not want to continue to prophesy, because now all of a sudden it seems like there's no, relief in sight, you ain't worthy, man. You got to continue to push prophecy and endure until your last breath or until the end comes, whichever one first, the end of this man's kingdom or your last breath. You got to continue to fight and endure all the way until the end, okay? So this has just been an exhortation to, keep pushing, keep fighting, man. It ain't over. All right? Just because they tell you peace and safety, hey, it's finna really jump off, man. All right? It's finna really jump off. Now, let me grab that article that I was thinking about that I said I was going to bring up, and then we'll close out. Give me 1 second. Meanwhile, while they, praising and calling, Trump daddy and everything else, This is just being reported by ABC News. Iranian-backed hackers go to work after U.S. strikes. It says hackers back in Tehran have targeted U.S. banks, defense contractors, and oil industry companies following American strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, but so far have not caused widespread disruptions to critical infrastructure or the economy. See? So they haven't hit it to the extent where it's noticeable. But guess what? They're testing the system right now, all right? Because guess what? It can all go blank in the blink of an eye. It can all go, dark, just like that. And the last image you're going to have in your mind is of this man being praised and lauded for what he did, okay? And when he come back online telling you, hey, it's me, your daddy, you love me, take the microchip, you going to take it, all right? Because why? You're not of the elect. So it says, but that could change if the ceasefire between Iran and Israel collapse, or if independent hacking groups supporting Iran make good on promises to wage their own digital conflict against the U.S. Analysts and cyber experts say, and we all know where it's headed to, man. All right, whether it's Iranians really doing it or whether it's America using Iranian as a proxy to bring forth whatever it is that they get ready to do. They're going to do what they do. Okay? So they saying that the next wave, it says, but that could change if ceasefire between Israel and Iran, or Iran and Israel, collapse. Meaning that what? It could be on a much further, larger scale than just some isolated incidents. If this ceasefire if this ceasefire fails, you can almost bank that it's going to be on a large scale. Banks, oil, all of the infrastructures I did a lesson on. Okay, so we gonna see, man. In the midst of this lovey-dovey family photo and everything else, all it takes is badass Johnny to pick up a rock and throw it at the neighbor's window, and we here, man. Okay, we here. All right. So let's finish up and close out with 1 Peter 5:8. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, "Be sober, be vigilant." Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. When they should say peace and safety, what happens? There's sudden destruction coming. Here it is. Hey, it seems like Donald Trump, quote unquote daddy, has everything under control now. He's got Johnny all back in check. He scolded him. Now everything's back under, wraps. He got the neighborhood kid, coexisting with Johnny. It seems like they're gonna go out and shoot hoops in the driveway. And we already know what Johnny gonna do, man. Johnny gonna push the neighborhood kid down and get with a flagrant foul, a rough foul, and that's gonna be it, man. The police gonna be called out, and we already know World War III. But before then, we have to stick to prophecy and understand that the microchip has to be made mandatory. Has to be. That is a key component. Before America can be destroyed and we can be delivered, the microchip, the mark of the beast, must be made mandatory. Then the end shall come. Okay? But until then, it's just rumors of war, man. Okay? All right? So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right? And we're going to conclude on that. And with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.